How's it going, everyone? It's Trev the Dev. Today we are playing some College Hoops 2K8. One of the last great college basketball games, at least in my opinion, better than the EA Sports one. Was that 2010, 2011? Either one, whichever has Blake Griffin on the cover. Today we're doing a start of a legacy here, using the University of California, Riverside, the Highlanders. Only because they have a couple of good, they got a good senior, and then this guy's a good shooter, he's junior. Picked the West Coast teams. I think recruiting is going to be a little easier, but the challenge or the restriction that I'm going to put on myself for this dynasty is going to be a little interesting. I'm only going to try to recruit Mr. Basketballs. So in this game, I believe for every single state, there is a Mr. Basketball that says, hey, you'll see this guy, Chase Del Rosario. He's got that little basketball symbol next to his name. That means he's Mr. Basketball Ohio. Same thing with Arnold Bogan. He's Mr. Basketball Illinois. Wisconsin, Indiana, California. So this guy, he's the second-ranked recruit in Ohio, so he doesn't have that basketball symbol next to his name. So that's going to be kind of our goal. First couple years, I have a couple of juniors, a few younger players, some sophomores. None of them are really good. So ideally, I'd like to have a full rotation, 8, 9 guys before I get into playing any games. Not going to play the whole seasons, of course. Just going to play some key rivalry games and maybe some tournament games. So that's going to be kind of the idea behind this Legacy Dynasty again, is just going after exclusively Mr. Basketballs. I'm going to give myself a little bit of leeway in the first couple years, just as my team is obviously pretty bad. So if I need to fill out with some California guys, maybe I can get a couple per year during the first few years. But again, I really want to focus on just getting that full rotation of Mr. Basketballs before I start playing any games. So I am going to set up my recruiting board, and we'll look back in just a second at who we're targeting. Alright, after going through all 50 states, here is my initial target list. So we got three stars that we're looking at. Greg Walton, who I'm 6th on, behind a couple of localer teams. Top ranked recruit we're going after, just outside of the top 100. Buzz Randall, he's from Arizona. Buzz Randall from Louisiana. Yeah, he's going to be pretty tough. You see Missouri, Tulsa, Southern Miss, all going for him. Also just outside of the top 100, but could use a good point guard. Marshall Belzer, I don't think we're going to have a shot at him unless these other teams stop recruiting him. But we'll keep him on there just because he's got some decently high interest as a 3-star. 2 stars, this guy in Mississippi actually does not have anybody recruiting him. Did put up 13 points in the ABL, and I think that scoring is always something that we could use, so I'm not going to be too picky this early. Got Philip Pritchard from Alaska. Again, nobody else was recruiting him, at least initially. Same thing with Elvin Jean-Pierre from New Hampshire. And Elmer Road from Wyoming. Funnily enough, there's 2 states, I believe, with no recruits, and that was Vermont and Maine. Both had no recruits at all. So I thought about looking at Canada as well, just to say, okay, they don't actually designate a Mr. Basketball in Canada. But I think I'm going to pass on that. I think I'm just going to go with the states. So, yeah. So again, this early on, I'm just going to be simming these first couple seasons and recruiting, so there's not going to be a lot of intrigue, so I'm just going to pause this, maybe give a mid-season update, and maybe not, maybe I'll just do an end-of-the-season update. So, it'll be just a second for you, but it'll be a couple of minutes for me. Alright, we've got a mid-season recruiting update just before the in-season signing week. All three of these 3 stars I am behind. I don't think I'll have a shot at either Greg Walton or Buzz Randall. I'm holding out hope that Tulane doesn't offer him, but I gotta think Greg Walton might accept his scholarship to UTEP. Marshall Belzer, we could jump up. I got him coming for a visit, I think, so Maybe he's the guy that we really go hard on. Jari Willman, I'm almost positive he's going to commit to USA. Who's that? South Alabama, which is okay. I mean, we were just hoping, you know, an outside shot. Philip Pritchard, nobody else is recruiting him. We should have him. I'll offer Elvin Jean-Pierre a scholarship if any of these guys don't accept or are accepted rather by a different school. And then the same thing with Rhodes. So let's see. You know, I'll simulate this week, see if we've got anybody. 2 and 3 actually did beat Gonzaga earlier. It's a pretty big win. Probably going to lose to Minnesota. Yeah, only 12 points. It's not too bad. All right, let's see if we get anybody. Okay, that's what we expected. Okay, so only 2 people committed. So that means, yeah, we were expecting him. And him. So we'll hold out hope that Tulane does continue to not offer Buzz Randall a scholarship, and actually Marshall Belzer has jumped up to number 1 on our list. So we'll recruit these guys. Let's visit him at home. See if we can get him to commit in season. I don't think we will, but sure would be nice, wouldn't it? And then College of I don't know who CCSU is. If I offer him a scholarship, what does he jump up to? All the way to 43. I think we've got a shot at Jean-Pierre. So I'm going to focus my recruiting efforts the rest of the way on him as well. So let's go ahead and simulate this week just to see if anybody actually signs on. I hope nobody does, or if they do, it's just me. Fight songs in the background. Okay, so nobody else signed during the in-season period, which is okay. That means we really just got to recruit hard the rest of the way down the road. We're going to focus our efforts almost entirely on Buzz Randall to see if we can't get him to sign on with the program. Because if we can get either one of these guys, but man, having 2 3-stars right out of the gate would be huge for us. So we'll check back with you at the end of the season. Alright, we got a brief recruiting update at the end of the season here. I am 9 and 15. Actually not too bad for what I came in to be. Randall, hey, I actually withdrew my scholarship offer from him. Tulane and Arkansas both have really been recruiting him hard, and I thought it was not worth it, so I wanted to get Elmer Rhodes' interest up, so I offered him a scholarship. I am in the lead on Marshall Belzer. Looks like Air Force and Creighton are both, oh my gosh, it's 95+%. So we're gonna have to hope that he commits once that opens back up. Pritchard from Alaska, still the only guy that are recruiting him. Behind CCSU on Elvin Jean-Pierre, but there's not too much more I can do about him. He's about as high as I can get it to go right now. And same thing with Rhodes. We're the only one recruiting Rhodes, so we should have him locked up. So we will see what we can do. I do have 2 guys that will probably make the all-conference team in shooting guard 10 and shooting guard 32. Best 2 players by a wide margin, and I have my tendencies so that they just shoot the ball as much as possible. So we'll check back in after the postseason. I figured I'd do the recap of the awards just for intrigue. Looks like Kansas won the national championship. I think this is Chalmers, maybe? Mario Chalmers? I don't remember. These are the real rosters. Obviously, I don't know the names. I thought Mario Chalmers, maybe, but I don't know anybody else on that Kansas team. Tyler Hansbrough won Player of the Year. No idea who this is for. I don't even know what team this is. UNC Greensboro. I think that's what it says. Bill Self, Coach of the Year. Alabama A&M guy won Defensive Player of the Year. Hansbrough. The Big Man of the Year, Michael Beasley. Freshman of the Year. First team All-American, that's Hansbrough. Don't know who that is, or that, or that, or that. Don't know. I'm trying to think if I know any of these players. Okay, these guys. I don't think... Is that OJ Mayo, maybe? Might be. I knew who this was at one point, but I don't remember anymore. And this is Michael Beasley. This is Kevin Love, I believe. Now, we are in the Big Sky, I think. Weber State won the championship and Conference Coach of the Year. Am I in the Big Sky? No, I must not be. But, so I had a guy that was on the... Here we are. I swear I had somebody... Okay, yeah, Big West. Big West, that's what I thought. Let's see, Big West. Usually Santa Barbara. There, 81 overall shooting guard. He's pretty good. Coach of the Year, Player of the Year, no surprise. Some freshmen from UC Davis won Freshman of the Year. Didn't have anybody on the first team, but we did have our shooting guard on the second team. Hopefully our backup guard can make the first team next season after this guy is gone. We should have a good shot. And nobody on the freshman team, so 2 guys graduated. I do have a couple of points. I'm going to pump them all into Charisma. And we'll just skip these because I don't really care. Can pull on a new assistant coach. Look at this guy, he's a good teacher. No transfers. I will not import my draft class. So recruiting opens back up here in just a second. So again, let's just double check. We are hoping that Belser commits, Pritchard commits, Rode commits, and John Pierre commits. But Belser is the key guy. Let's hope. Okay, we expected that. Alright, we got Marshall Belser. Very nice, very nice. So I have Mr. Basketball and a 3-star just outside of the top 100. Fortunately, whenever you get them, it doesn't show what their ranking was. I think it was like 120-ish. Oh, there it is. Actually, it does. 142 and 31 overall small forward. I'll absolutely take that. Average 13 and 7 and 2 in the ABL. It's going to be a key cog in our offense moving forward. Looks like he's a good medium, good layups as well. Gotta hope that Pritchard, Jean-Pierre, and Rode all commit now. So I won't bore you with this. We'll check back in at the end of recruiting. Alright, we're at the end of recruiting season, and we did, in fact, sign all 4 of these guys. Let's take Buzz off our list. Too bad we couldn't sign him, but hey. I'll absolutely take a 150 guy, 3-star, a couple of 2-stars, and a 1-star, but, you know, again, beggars can't be choosers. At least in this situation, even though I'm absolutely handcuffed myself. But hey, you know, if nothing else, this should let you know that there's probably going to be a 1, maybe some low, couple of 1-stars, a couple low 2-stars you can sign early on in your career to get that attribute point. I'm curious to see who the top guy went to. North Carolina, Kentucky. Seeing if there's any upsets. Florida got 3 guys that are 5-stars. Holy cow. So I once saw the top guy go to Norfolk State, I think. Went on to win Freshman of the Year. So all the 5-star seniors signed, it looked like. Yes, indeed they did. So we'll check out these guys in just a second. Alright, so here we are. After the start of the new season, let's go check out our guys. I did take a peek at Bowser, and he is, in fact, our best player. He's only a couple attributes point behind the other shooting guard that just graduated. But 6'7", 210 roughly. He's a pretty good shooter. I mean, second best mid-range on the team, second best 3 points on the team. No, sorry, I see this guy get 78. Third best 3-point shooter on the team. Got to improve that free throw shooting, but, you know, it is what it is, right? Pretty good on-ball defender. One of our best rebounders. He's pretty fast. I mean, obviously he's our best player. And I would not be surprised if he is Freshman of the Year in conference. In fact, that would probably be my guess. Let's see our other guys. Pritchard is a 54. 6'6", 230, small forward. Only 54 overall, but you know, it is what it is, right? Decent close, not too much of a jump shooter, however. Okay defense. Decently quick, especially for his size. So, I mean, you're not going to expect too much out of a 54 overall player, but definitely a slasher is what his play style is going to be like. We did not recruit Arthur Gill. Honestly, I'm just gonna release him, just so I don't get it confused with other players that I actually recruit. Same thing with Silva. He's a walk-on. We're just gonna cut him. Now here's Jean-Pierre, 49 overall, 6'6", 200. Excuse me. Again, decent layups, not much of a shooter. Decent defender. You know, I guess you'd say he's a slasher as well, but not very good. And then Elmer Road, our one-star recruit here. 62 threes, not horrific, especially in this game. That's passable, especially if you're only 47 overall. So I don't know. I have no idea what shooting off the dribble, I think. I don't know what SHDR stands for. I was hoping it would tell me here, but it doesn't. So, you know, he's got to develop that jump shot, I guess, and that passing is also not very good, but he's got decent handles, so he's got to get his passing up. But again, only 47 overall, so I'm going to set up my recruiting board for Season 2, and we'll go over that once I'm back. Alright, so we set up our recruiting board for Year 2. This is going to be a bit tougher, it looks like, this year. Our top 3 guys are Linus Norman from Idaho. We're 6th on him, but I think we can make up some ground, especially now that we have A+ charisma. Maceo Spong from West Virginia, 6'6" power forward. We're 5th, but again, same situation. I'm hoping that we can, this is Wyoming, not West Virginia. Hoping we can make up some ground with our charisma. And then Raimondus Knight from North Dakota. Bring some size to our team. Nobody else is recruiting him at the moment. Arthur Olson, I just threw him on there for, I don't know. I don't think I really have a shot. But, boy, I would love some size. J.S. Halsell from Maine. Yeah, Portland, Maine. You know, could maybe do something. It would be tough. I just threw James Hannon on just for giggles, I suppose. I probably won't recruit him, but he was the highest guy that I saw, so I figured to put him on there for the moment. And then Ronnie Boucher from Iowa, Cedar Falls. So UNI's got a pretty big lead, but I think we can make this up. Yeah, it's funny, I was looking at Washington, D.C. and Maryland. I didn't check D.C. last year, but they actually had somebody designated as Mr. Basketball for Washington, D.C., Trace Owens. And then I was looking at Maryland, and I didn't see anybody that was designated. So I wonder if the game considers those two to be like the same. So it only allows one Mr. Basketball from each of those metro areas. So we'll see how we do this year with the recruiting. Alright, coming up to the signing period in season. Things are not looking fantastic, so we're going to hope for at least one guy. It's Norman. I think that's Middle Tennessee State, is out in front. We're at 98%. Spong is not being recruited very hard by Wyoming. Knight, we've got a shot at. Olson, I've just kept him on there. I also recruited, took off a bunch of guys, so. Best case scenario, we're looking at maybe 3 guys this season, but we're really hoping for 2, it looks like at this point. We're just hoping this guy does not sign with Middle Tennessee State. And of course he did. Oh wow, 3 guys all signed somewhere else. No, that's kind of what we were expecting. Man, that stinks. Thought we had a shot at Norman. Alright, so now we're really going to go hard after Spawn and Knight, and then we'll have to check periodically to see if any of the other Mr. Basketballs are not being recruited. But I'll check back in at the end of the season. Okay, I added Niall Hunter from Montana and Chauncey Dowdell from Nebraska. Both of these guys looks like they have been under-recruited throughout the season, so we're going to add them and see if we can't pick them up as well. Alright, so here is a end of season 2 recruiting update. Chauncey Dowell, we are 84%, but looks like O-R-K-E. No, that's Drake. That's a D, not Drake's out in front. Don't think we'll have a shot, but we're keeping him on there. Raymondus Knight, we're the only person recruiting him, the only team. Niall Hunter, behind 2 teams. Same thing with Cherokee Bracey. And I also added Chad Januszewski, just because Washington has yet to offer him a scholarship, so I wonder if they're out. So maybe we can steal him away at the end of the season. But it's going to be... I mean, we're hoping, I guess, for Hunter and Bracey. And we really love Dowdle, actually, now that I look at it. Season-wise, though, we went 15-12 before the end of the season. I'm curious. I want to see how we did in how our players did. It's like Marshall Belzer led our team in scoring, almost 19 per game, and 5 rebounds. And then shooting guard number 10, 15 points a game. That's pretty good. So a great season for Belzer. And I would be surprised if he did not take Freshman of the Year. Might even be Player of the Year. I wonder... oh gosh, I just... What are they? Man, I just was looking at this and I don't remember what we are. I always want to say it's the Big Sky, but I know that's not right. Is it the Big South? No. Big West. Yeah, Big West. So he finished second in the regular season in points per game. I mean, this point guard number 1 for Cal State Fullerton might take Player of the Year. But it'll be close. I think Belzer's he's got a real shot. I'm hoping that he takes it. Maybe if he does good in postseason, he'll get the honors. Let's see if I win the tournament. Oh man, we lost to Pacific in day 1. But we got a winning record. No NIT. That's alright. We'll check back in at the end of off-season. No, let's just go ahead and simulate this. It doesn't take too long. I know this first episode's a little disjointed. Forthcoming episodes will be a little bit more cohesive. Yeah. Looks like UConn won national championship. They had a freshman on their team. He's a 4-star. Is Kemba on there? No. I don't know who's on their team. Let's see. Gonzaga, power forward, won Player of the Year, almost 28.5 points per game. Defensive Player of the Year was a center from Stanford. Is that one of the Lopez brothers? It might be, but I don't know for sure. Juan Evans for West Virginia won Freshman of the Year. First team All-American, Kevin Love. Don't know who that is. No idea who any of these players are. Fortunately, our guy did not get the call because... Oh, look at that. Number 1 overall recruit. 85 overall, holy cow. Because our conference is not good enough. That's okay. Big West. CS Fullerton won. Had 3 freshmen starting. That's impressive. Conference Coach of the Year was UC Irvine. And they snubbed him for Player of the Year, but at least Marshall Belzer won Conference Freshman of the Year and was first team All-Conference. So Left the team, huh? 5 guys left. We do have some attribute points, so teaching. We could move on, but I'm gonna stay with CS Fullerton for a while. No, Riverside for a while. Use Riverside. Get these teams confused too much. Now we'll check in after the end of recruiting, just so we can take a look again. I think Dowdle's probably going to go to Drake. We should have Knight, and then we're holding out hope for maybe Janisevsky, and then Hunter and Bracy would be nice to have. But I'll check in once everything is locked away. So I was looking at players that were unrecruited throughout the process, and it looks like Walt Martinez has seen basically no action. He is Mr. Basketball Wisconsin, so I added him, and we got a hope and a prayer. Yeah, those dreams were squashed. We got a little close, but he ended up signing with Tennessee. Maybe if I saw him a little bit earlier, we could have snagged him. But we did sign Hunter, so we got another 3-star, which is very good. He's a very good shooter. Well, maybe not. He's got B+ shooting, at least. And we did sign Raymondus Knight. And we'll probably sign Cherokee Bracy. We're going to look for somebody else. So, for what it's worth, it's not like other games like NCAA or whatever, where a lot of times some guys will go unrecruited. But for example, like this guy, I know he's a world recruit, but if you look in the offseason, you can often find some fairly highly recruited or highly ranked guys that have been basically unrecruited. And again, while I could add like Eric Adler, like Percy President, even though they have great names, I know it makes it a little more difficult, but you know, it kind of goes against what I want to do here. Is my team going to suffer for it? Yeah, probably. It probably will, but these are the sacrifices that we're making just to get all Mr. Basketballs on our team. This is how I go through at the end of the season. Doesn't look like there's anybody else left that is a Mr. Basketball from anywhere. Nope. Well, 3-man recruiting class are not what we like, but as you can kind of see from this list, there's a lot of centers and power forwards that are interested in our team. So hopefully some of the Mr. Basketballs next season will be that position. So kind of the way that I've kind of figured out how interest works is other recruits look at your team, see what position you have on your roster, and then if you have a lot of that position, they might not be as interested, which is why a lot of these guys were shooting guards coming in, and we did not have very many shooting guards interested in our team. So that is what it is. Hopefully we get our last recruit of the season, please. No, he didn't even sign with us. Yeah, Bracy didn't even sign with us. What the heck? That stinks. We got 2 guys. We'll take a look at them in just a second. Alright, let's take a look at our players that we brought in. So we got Niall Hunter, 68 overall, our second best player. Montana guy. Also looks like Belzer grew an inch over the offseason, which is nice. Better at shooting. Hunter is a good perimeter shooter. I mean, 74 in this game is quite outstanding, in all honesty. He's also a pretty good defender. Pretty fast. What's his passing? You know, I guess I can go to this screen. 67. So, you know, if we don't get a good point guard, he might be running the point for us whenever I end up playing games, which will probably be next season. Pritchard again, he's on our team from last season, Mr. Basketball Alaska. Doesn't look like he got too much better, although I don't remember. I'll have to look at this video, but again, those are his attributes. Nothing too outstanding. Pretty quick, 79 speed, that's not too bad. And good size. Raymondus Knight, this is the guy we brought in from North Dakota. He actually grew an inch over the offseason, so 6'11". His rebounding could use some work, but he's got a decent mid-range shot. 69 for a power forward. We'll probably end up putting him at center unless we can get a guy this season. I'm going to keep all the walk-ons this season just because I think if I cut too many, there might be some issues, but I've designated them with the walk-on WO. Jean-Pierre, he was redshirted last season. And honestly, should probably have Pritchard redshirting this season. Even though he's one of our better players. Just an extra season of growth might help. So here's Jean-Pierre again. Again, also nothing too spectacular. Road was a... Yeah, so that's right. Hunter and Knight were our two freshmen this season. So I'll set up my recruiting board for this season, and I'll walk you through those as well. Alright, so I have went through and set up my recruiting board. So we have a couple of guys. Again, it might be a little tricky, but Edmund Dewitt, the small forward out of Idaho. Ernesto House, point guard in Nevada. Hal Becker, Indy center. I don't think I'll have a shot, but you never know. Blair Delfico from Kentucky. Jackie Friend out of West Virginia. Borislav Fourth from, I want to say Denmark. Obviously, that's not right. Delaware. I'm going to try to snipe him. Eric Clark from New York. Only put him on because everybody else he's got pretty low interest in a lot of teams. Anthony Wooden from Maine. So, went through, and I've also added some under other players I really should have added earlier, like juniors, sophomores, and freshmen. So, we'll see how this season goes. We do need 6 players. It'll be very interesting. Alright, coming up on the in-season signing, and here's a quick update. Eric Clark, we are behind Rutgers. They have not offered him his scholarship yet, so we might have a shot. We'd like to get him in for a campus tour. Hal Becker, we're down on the list. Again, nobody's offered him a scholarship, so I'm not sure about him. House, probably going to commit to Boise. We are out in the lead on 4th, so I'm feeling good about him. Dewitt is being recruited by, it must be Montana State, not Middle Tennessee. And then Friend is being recruited by Winthrop, I'm guessing. Tough to say. So we're going to have to hope that we get 4th. He's the big prize, and then if we get one of the point guards, fingers crossed. Only a 5-point loss to Penn State. Not too bad. Okay, House we were expecting. Friend, I was also expecting that. Nobody else signed on, however. So, let's see if we can't pull in one of these guys here during the period. Okay. So, looks like we jumped up to the lead on Clark. So we could get our first 4-star. Oh, that's exciting. How are we on Becker? Behind, and then how about Dewitt? We'll throw a home visit for him. Let's see if we get Clark or 4th during the in-season signing period. Those 2 guys would be huge for us. Oh man, a 1-point loss to San Diego State. So close. So very, very close. Okay, so nobody signed on, that's fine. We'll pick it back up at the end of the season. Alright, I lied. I was just going through unrecruited or lightly recruited players, and both Rudolph Sneed and Jamal McIntosh are basically unrecruited. So we are going to jump on those guys and see if we can't get a 4-star to come our way. Boy, wouldn't that be something else, huh? So we added Sneed is out of Colorado and McIntosh is out of Minnesota. So alright, here at the end of the 3rd season, you're in a tight recruiting battle for Borislav Fourth. Towson has yet to offer a scholarship. We'll see what happens there. Clark, South Carolina jumped in front. We are still the only one that offered a scholarship. Dewitt, we're behind. Sneed, we're behind. We're in 4th, but nobody's offered him a scholarship except for us. Same thing with Becker. And then McIntosh, I don't think we really have a shot at. Not the best season, 11-5. Still got a shot for some tournament success potentially. See how our Belser lit it up this year. 21 points per game. Not too bad. Niall Hunter, 7 points a game. Looks like he was a point guard, 5 assists per game. He's probably gonna win Freshman of the Year, right? We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll sim through the postseason. This again takes pretty quick. Do we beat Pacific? We do not. Alright, we did get Conference Player of the Year. Nice. Oh, look at that. Back-to-back national championships for UConn. Impressive. Oh, 32 points per game. That's pretty good. Big Man of the Year out of Notre Dame. Freshman of the Year, Carlton Lowe. He was the #1 overall recruit. Wow, 87 three-point shooting. That's pretty good. He only had 9 points a game. It's not that impressive. It's not bad. Big West. Let's see, UC Irvine took the championship. Cal Poly's coach. Marshall Belser was the Conference Player of the Year. Again, 20.5 points per game after the last game of the season. Almost 6 rebounds a game. It's pretty good. Freshman of the Year was Paulius Baskauskis. CS Fullerton. Belser was on the first team All-Conference. Hunter could not crack the second team or first team, unfortunately, but he was on the freshman team. Excuse me. And we get our contract renewed for 4 years. That's good. That means this is not going off the vein, which would be really bad. See, it could go to another team, but again, I want to stay with Riverside for a while. We'll keep these 2 guys. Why not? No transfer requests. Let's see how we do in off-season recruiting. This will be the real challenge for this year. Okay, we did get 4th. All right, nice. We got a great center on our team. That is fantastic news. 3-star center. What was his class rank? He was, 142, 13th overall center. Looks like he's a good shooter as well. I don't know how good I don't know how accurate all the scouting stuff is, but we'll check back after the off-season recruiting is done. Alright, so this will be the last little update for this video. Again, these next couple of upcoming episodes will be a little bit more cohesive and stuff. But boy, do I have some good news here. We signed ourselves Eric Clark, a 4-star recruit, top 50 in his class. I know he's the number 18 point guard, but I am not going to complain about getting a point guard. That's really, we need a point guard. We need a center. So, Borislav 4th, Eric Clark will be joining the team next season. Was recruiting Brent Huffman. He was pretty much unrecruited by everybody again. He didn't commit. I think there's a certain threshold that you have to get above in order for you to commit to a team. It's probably like 90% or something. But we just couldn't quite get him. So let's take a look at our incoming freshmen. And then next episode, I will probably play the season opener against Charlotte. I have to set up my rotations and stuff, though. So I don't want to do that this episode. I'll listen to some James in the background. 5 scholarships this season, so let's take a look. Borislav 4th is actually our best player. 6'11", 238 from Delaware. Let's take a look at his attributes. 74 from mid, decent free throw shooter, good dunking. 86 blocks, that's pretty good. Not the best rebounder, but certainly okay. He's real strong for a freshman, so we'll want to feed him inside, and he can step out a little bit and make some shots. Look for him to be a good potential freshman of the year. And then Eric Clark, also 74 overall, 6'2", 194 from Brooklyn. Good shooter. Good driving shot. He's got really good rebounding and blocking for a point guard. He's got real good handles, 88. He's got 90 speed, so he is very fast. Quickness could be a little higher, but he's our ball handler. He's going to be the guy that's the offense is going to funnel through. And then those are the only two guys that we had. So I'll have to go through and double check everybody else who was a walk-on. And I'll set my rotation so that we're only playing our Mr. Basketballs. If I can make that work, I might have to throw in like one extra player. But should be a good situation here at UC Riverside. But till then, I'm going to save this one. I'm going to get everything set up for... Really, this is episode 0 for episode 1 when we start playing some games. So if you like this one, again, I know it's kind of a weird episode, but can't wait to see you in the next one where we really start diving into it. Till then, see you next time.